It's welcome back again. We now have the Pilates core rhythm going on in this next part of the workout. Getting yourselves ready. Let us know you're in the room, because then I know that it's obvious that we can continue. We have video 134. Can you believe that? 134 of the Pilates workout. This is Pilates rhythm. It will be a very slow, but the intensity will just accrue bit by bit by bit. Obviously, if what we start off with is not in the right place for you, then make sure the alignment's there and think pelvic floor and breath. Great to see Lorna, Diane, etc. in the room. For those just tuning in then, this workout is Pilates rhythm and it's video 134. If you've just wandered in the room, hello Susan, you will need your head cushion for this bit, and we will start lying on the floor. Head cushion ready. I've just got trainers on because it's far from warm in here. I don't know what else to say other than if you've just done the previous workout, then you'll be beautifully warm and very mobile. But whichever way, great to see Mena as well. Sorry about the Mena. Lindsay's watching. If we're ready to roll, make sure you can see your screen. We will start lying down, and once you're lying down, your sensation as to where the ground is beneath you. Relax through the head, neck and shoulders. Have a glance up at your thigh bones, making sure you've got everything level. You need to have it that your heels are kind of not tucked right under the knees. You don't want it like that, just a little bit forward, but neither too far away. The watch points here are, as you're lying down, that you feel either side of the mat to get your sense of symmetry. Positional alignment for the posture, the body, the trunk, the spine, the pelvis, the legs, is everything that Pilates is. Without alignment, you can't find the right muscles. Welcome back, everyone. It's good to see everyone managing to tune in really easily without any glitches. Allow the head pad to be under the skull. We're going to be staying in this position of neutral for a little while, so get the breath to work, the ribcage expansion, contraction, and do your best version of neutral possible. But if I've ever said to you, find a gentle imprint always and forever, then those rules still apply even though I'm not in front of you teaching you. The rules would be, if you're unsure, there can't be any pain in the lumbar spine, and everything I'm teaching this next kind of 5-minute moment will activate the abdominals with the breathing muscles leading you whilst maintaining the grounded pelvic position. I'm going to take my glasses off just because I find it easier to work out. My hands are by my sides. I've checked that everything's level and I now know where my breath is. First activation will be the chin nod as you breathe out. You'll follow the breath out, curling the rib cage, reaching your armpits, palms facing you, but your hip bones grounded. Inhale and uncurl. It will be as slowly and deliberately taut as that. The breath out is the chin nod. You follow the rib cage breath to a conclusion, which your aim is to get to the base of the scapula, the shoulder blade, not higher up. So some postures, particularly if they're quite kyphotic and they've overbuilt their rex abdominis, I know who those people are, you will roll all the way up to here thinking you're doing a great job. Don't. Keep the rolling spine up to the base of the scapula and keep your bottom heavy and your feet heavy as you do such a movement pattern. Exhaling, nod chin, nose to navel. Inhaling and back down, feeling the shoulder blades flatten and then the skull lower. Last time, breathing out, up you come and stay. Place both hands under the head, breathing in, and exhale, flex a tiny bit more, breathing out. Often my cueing of butterfly arms helps this. So if you widen your elbows on the inhale and on the breath out, pull the elbows as if you've pulled them down to the navel, you'll get the fibres that make up your oblique and your deep abdominals under the belly button, the navel, as you do that for another 2. Exhaling. Open mouth, open throat, inhaling, breathing out, and inhaling. Now roll all the way down, Keeping the hands behind the head, exhale and roll all the way up, butterflying in. Open the wings as you go down. The skull weight wants to find its way into your chest and into your abdominals, not your neck. Exhaling. Use your pelvic floor, not to tuck under, but to find your core pelvic area. The discipline of Pilates will always be mind-body. Only the mind can ask certain parts of the body to get involved until it becomes just natural. 2 more. With this next rolling up, you'll stay, but this time you're going to pull your right leg up in the air and then take your right hand to the base of the right bum bone, thigh bone area, keeping your left hand behind the head. Inhale, roll down, you're still in neutral. Breathe out, curl up and pull over, pointing the elbow to the inside of the thigh that's in the air. Exhaling. I'm holding on to the base of the thigh bone and the sit bone behind my leg that's in the air, and that allows me to get a better range of rhythm movement for the obliques to get involved as the exhale pulls the rib cage down, and the right hand side, because it's my right leg that's in the air, the obliques work a little bit harder. What you mustn't allow to be here is that the left hand side of you, that pelvis and that foot, needs to stay equally connected to the ground behind you, so that the movement is limited just to your rib cage rotation. All right, we're up to stay, and this is where you do the holding. Just as in the leg workout video previous to this, we did that kind of end range move. On this moment, it's the inner range move for the abs, as you fractionally go down a bit and back up a bit. Exhaling and inhaling a tiny range of movement. And if it's in the right place, people, it'll be feeling hot between the rib cage, under the navel, and connected to the hip bones potentially. This is your last one, and you're going to go down. Place the leg down, place your other leg in tabletop. So now I've got my left leg in tabletop, my thigh bone vertical, my hand to the base of my thigh, and my right hand behind my head. Heels, pelvis level as I curl on the breath out and uncurl. Breathing out. You pull your elbow fractionally in. This chin still nods in towards the throat. The rib cage rolls. You inhale and back. Exhaling. Inhaling and rolling back. Breathing out. And breathing in. Breathing out. So you've got that slight rotation. The assist is my hand pulling to the base of my thigh bone on my left hand side. That helps a better range of movement, which allows the breath more access to moving the spine and connecting the core. Stay. Inhale, fractionally down. Exhale, as though you're trying to increase the pulling of your armpit across to your opposite hip. If you take deeper breaths here, you get a better connection. So don't do the whole, kind of panting breath like you're having a baby. Do the definite inhaling and exhaling. Last time. And rolling all the way down. Once you're down there, pull the knee to the chest of the leg that's up there. Pull the other leg in. Have the thighs tight together and go back to your tabletop legs. Exhale a pelvic tilt. Once you've got your pelvic imprint, stay. Make sure you feel the pelvic imprint between the hip bones. That means the drawing up inside, the drawing in the nail to the spine. Breathing in and out, and then we go. Exhale, curl. Breathe in and uncurl. You're now getting what I talked about was the gradual build of intensity, and here it is. Inhaling back down, breathing out. Allow your elbows to pull forwards as though in the direction of the hip bones to assist the moving of the rib cage, therefore the activation of the deep abs, and your breath should be deep and long. Now we add the exhale and push the legs away. Inhaling, remember you only take those legs to where your back can safely be supported by the abs. You curl first, and the legs extend towards the end of the curl. The limitation of the curling range is obviously base of the shoulder blades. The next time is the final curl, and you stay. Inhaling and exhaling, place your hands down. It suddenly got harder. Place the head down, breath out. Pull the legs back, inhale, lower them away. Now if your hamstrings are short, keep the legs bent. It's your thighs that are moving away from the trunk. In fact, everyone, keep your legs bent. Learn to let the thighs move away from the hip bones here and pull back. Your range of ability, range of movement for legs to lower, can only be in line with the ability to stabilise the imprint of the spine. And this work should go deep towards the pelvic area. We talk about bikini area and your pelvic floor is involved. Okay, your final moment then is exhaling, curl, stretch the left leg away, breathe in and return it. Exhale, other leg away. I've stayed curled. I've now got symmetry, deep, deep core connection as one leg reaches. And again, your leg will only go as low as you can maintain power in the abs. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. If your neck's achy, you would uncurl and curl for this. Whichever way, my chin's pulling to my throat, my nose points to my navel, and my leg reaches. That was your last one. Come straight onto your sides. We're in our side lying position where we end up with the legs bent, kneecaps level, 90 degrees. My feet are forward, so they line up with the front edge of the mat. My kneecaps are lined up with the front edge of the mat, and my waist is off the floor on the side and lying. We're going straight into the abduct and close, or the open. This is the activity where your thigh muscle, the thigh leg area wants to lift and the lower leg follow. If you have flexion, toes pulling to shins, you'll keep a better connection, and if you keep the movement range smaller, reduced, not increased, you're more likely to get the right action. This is the last one. You're going to come to the height of where you normally go and then drop it down till you've got about, I don't know, the fist width between both thighs. Exhale then and push that leg away. Keep the fist between the thigh. Inhale and pull that leg forwards again. This action, without a glute band, is less intense, but never kind of underestimate its value to your posture, your body. To keep these muscles, whether massively intensely being requested of, or just this is more mobilising, stabilising, it matters, all right? As you come in and out, this next time you're out, it's about the fifth one, we stay. You're now going to lower and lift. That's a reduced range, and it's a slightly different target area. As you lower, lift, you've got all the time to keep the bikini line, core connection, pelvic floor, internal, external obliques, and your alignment truly sideways neutral. Okay, now go to turn out. In turn out, lower and lift. Pull your heel down and push it back up. You want to have the leg not behind you. So if I look at where my leg is, if anything, it's as though I'm just lined up with my bottom heel, the heel of the bent leg. That way I know that my top leg hasn't drifted backwards. If you're a sway back, you're the people that will do that and think, oh, this exercise, I'm getting better at it. We're now into our side abductor area. As you inhale, lower, exhale, lift, lower and lift. Last time. Now go back to parallel and start to draw circles that are about, if you know what the orange balls are in the studio, they're bigger than a football. You're circling the thigh bone within the pelvis. The breath is for the effort, which is the upwards phase of the circle. The thigh bone articulates, it's mortar and pestle type work where the pelvic position is the cup up part, the bowl, and the thigh bone is the kind of mobilising within that joint, making all of these muscles here work. You're going to change the direction, point the toe, and the same activity using the different set of mobilising, stabilising muscles. This will tire out the lateral and medial rotators and create stability and build glute connection. This is your last one, and let that go. Now take yourself straight into hands and knees. I'm going to have myself just with my facing the screen, as it were. I'm in all fours. I'm going to take my hands wider. We want the chest press to get the chest open for our desk work. Inhale, down you go, pull your elbows wide open, breath out, push the ground away. You're grounded through the kneeling position, you're grounded with where your hands go, and your elbows go wide out, and your face goes forwards of your fingers. We will do quite a bit of work tomorrow using the roller. We'll probably do one workout tomorrow, just because I think we might be able to entice Mr. Bathgate, my husband, into the room to bring a bit of light relief. All right, you've got 2 more of these chest presses. Last time. And away we come. Pull your head cushion over and find yourself the other side for side lying. Side lying, shoulder under shoulder, as it were. Kneecaps are level. Feet, heels lined up with the front edge of your mat. I just need to cough. My knees are level, my waist is active, and I'm going to do the abduct or the open, which is abduction, and close. You have the chance to actually breathe, so make the breath dominant. I have the chance to talk. Breath out to lift, inhale and. If you imagine having a glute band on, and whilst glute bands are brilliant, you don't live life with a glute band, so learning to move without that feeling is as crucial as being strengthened through the glute band. But when we don't use it, you're tuning in more to the natural recruitment pattern of those muscles. Okay, stay about a fist between the thighs, and you're pushing the leg away and pulling back to that fist gap. You're trying to keep the leg working along the same plane of movement against gravity as the breath in happens and the breath out. Once you understand where you are, core connect and then push your leg away, breathing in through the nose. Wait till you feel your midriff hollow before letting the leg reach. So often with our leg work, we tend to get so caught up with the feeling of the muscles in the legs that we bypass the contribution that the trunk stability system makes in this sequence. I'm leaving my leg out this time, and it's going to lower down an inch and up an inch, or it's actually a few degrees of movement at the hip. Probably more than a couple of inches up and down, but the emphasis is the leg lengthens as it lowers a bit and then lifts a bit. You'll notice that my leg doesn't go higher than the height of my external hip. Inhaling down, and I can encourage you again, do the breath out and then feel the movement. Keeping your leg where it is, go to turn out. My thighs turned, it's limited on this side. Some people, if you look like you've got a massive amount of turnout, I can guarantee your foot's turned right out, your kneecap isn't, and then your hips have rolled back. It's still the rules of 10 to 10 past there on that turnout. And when you look down at your body, you see that your heel of the bottom leg, the heel of the top leg are more or less lined up, and that helps you know that you haven't taken the leg too far back. The right emphasis here, there shouldn't be any hot spot, it should be global, side bottom area, and you kind of know it's right. Okay, that's the end there, go back to parallel, and now we have the circling. The exhaling of the trunk stabilizers are on the lifting up and over of the circle, the inhaling, lowering down. Exhaling up and over, inhaling down, and remember that circling, don't kick, fling, flow. The purpose of this movement pattern is that the pelvic stabilizers keep your trunk pelvic area still, whilst the mortar and pestle action with the thigh continues. Point the toe, opposite range of motion. if I had a wall or a flip chart where my foot was and my big toe was a big black ink pen, I'd be drawing a perfect circle with increased pressure going through the toe to the flip chart or the wall, whatever you can see it as, but that reach of the thigh bone out of the pelvis is the purpose of moving like this. All right, this is your last one, and let that go. So to finalise this sequence, I'm going to take us back into, I'll sit facing the way, into seated. I do believe it's one of the hardest positions we end up in, but because life is seated, I'm going to put us there. Remember the rules. If you need to bend your legs, do so, and actually you can hold on to the back of your thighs. If you're naturally able to sit like so, without injury or lower back issues, then do so. We're going to take our arms here, palms are pointing down to the floor, shoulder blades are drawing backwards as it were, and the breathing muscles are working hard just to keep me in upright and you in upright. Breathe out then, forwards, pull the chin to the throat and reach forwards without dropping your hands down. Imagine you've got a big beach ball between the belly, the thighs, and the navel pulls into the back and your shoulders relax away from the neck. On the next breath out, start to pull your shoulder blades backwards and return your spine shape back to seated neutral. Huge inhale. Exhaling. Forwards reach. Don't drop your arms, big breath in. And then breathe out, pull your shoulder blades together and reach. You're going to take your left arm to the sky, palm facing forward still, and your right arm behind and to the floor. Breathe in. Breathe out, push the floor away with your back hand and reach the chest up and the hand to the ceiling like we did earlier in pushing gravity down and away, then upwards and away. And then inhale and return both hands as they were earlier. Now take your other hand behind you, take the other arm up in the air, breathe and press down with the hand, press up with the hand, stay heavy with both sit bones, lengthen, strengthen both legs, inhale as deep as you can and then exhale, return. Going to do that again, a bit more pace. So arm behind, arm up and extend. Inhale and return. Exhale, arm up, arm behind and extend and return. Create a bit of rhythm and flow. Don't be afraid of doing a slight lean back, but the rules have to be that you don't collapse into your lumbar spine. Remember, you can do this activity with your legs bent. This is about your upper back finding some strength and space and your chest finding some openness. All right, this is your last one, rather than the hunched over kind of posture that we find ourselves having to live with. When you finish that last one, finally kneel up before we say goodbye to each other. Have your thigh bones parallel. We want the hips now to open. This is, if you've been sat at your desk, obviously after this, or just whatever you're doing in life, the flexors, this area here always gets short and tight, and that affects the lower back. Never be afraid of doing this frequently during your day. You're breathing deeply in and out, and you've got your backwards lean for these to stretch here and return. Zip up on pelvic floor, draw navel to spine, lean and return. Now, let one arm go to the back foot or the feet behind you, and then forwards. You've got your scissoring arms. You're not going to break the tension between the pelvic floor and the oblique ribs. And then you can have the turn of the head. So we've had a gentle rotation to this exercise rhythm. So your Pilates rhythm has been to move easily without too much choreography through the body, but definitely finding the switch on of the stability and mobility muscles that make up for spine health. And hopefully you've also got that sense of feeling a little bit more grounded with your real life and what's happening. Make that your last one. Have a final reach up, and that sense of extending everything upwards should be a bit easier. And bring it back down again. We're going to go again. Take your arms up, breathe, and push up On the reformer, we used to put our hands in the straps and press against the load. Because you haven't got a reformer, you're finding your own load. It's a well-known fact that the position of reach here and breath, making the eye gaze look wherever the neck's happy, and breathing actually creates an increase of endorphins and an increase of a sense of well-being and grounded. That's been proven, so have a little play with that. All I can say right now is the session's over. I'm going to find my glasses before I stand on them so that I can see the screen. Thank you for playing the game again and keeping me warm. The workout is definitely something that can be done anytime, any part of the day. Stay well, stay healthy, and here's hoping that tomorrow we get a time with TNT and a bit of fun. There'll just be one video tomorrow that will have a combination of stuff, and we will use the roller. If Tom can't make it, and the only reason he won't be here is because of work, but he's saying excellent, so that's looking good. We will use the roller tomorrow, so be roller ready, and we'll see you tomorrow. Stay warm because it's bloody cold.